Hello and welcome everyone to Swalife Health Podcast. I'm your host Ravina Rajpurohit, and today we have the privilege of speaking with none other than Dr. Praveen Badhe, the visionary founder of Swalife Biotech Private Limited. In this episode, we'll explore the groundbreaking Pure Hub division and its innovative approach to personalized medicine. From understanding the science behind single herb supplements to the role in precision healthcare, Dr. Badhe will share his insights on how these natural solutions are shaping the future of wellness. Let's dive right into it. Dr. Badhe, before we delve into the fascinating world of Pure Herbs division, could you start by telling us a bit about Swalife Biotech Private Limited, what inspired you to establish the company, and what is its core mission in the healthcare space? Over to you.
Thank you, Ravina. So basically, the idea regarding developing formulation from herbal came when actually I was doing my PhD work and my postdoc work.
Okay.
So at that time, we were actually targeting some of the different pathways from skin cancer, and the purpose was that we can actually, try and prevent the DNA damage or repair the DNA damage. So while doing that, it was my PhD guide, Dr. Ian Kill, who actually also inspired me to, go for commercializing and starting the startup uh, on the basis of natural products. uh, and that was where actually I started thinking that I should actually go for startup, so that way whatever research I have done, it will be utilized by people who actually need those products. And that's how actually we moved into the commercialization. Simultaneously, while working in Brunel under Dr. Joanna Bridget, I started looking for accelerator programs which are needed at the initial stage for the startups. And we then receive an initial investment from SOSV, uh, which is one of the venture capitalists. Under that, they actually have they had that previously. Now it is stopped. Now they had a Rebel Bio Accelerator program, which we were part of that, and that's how the Swalife Biotech actually started. Uh, at that time, and still, the vision is same, that we are actually working on reducing the cancer effect on the people, so that way we can actually develop something which can be useful for cancer patient. It has now moved towards personalized medicines, where we are actually utilizing network pharmacology to understand different targets in different cancer. And that has given birth to the Pure Hub, which is one of the division where we are utilizing single herbs, and we are actually using the small molecules from that single herbs, and we are targeting different targets in breast cancer and oral cancer, to reduce the side effect of the chemotherapy, simultaneously also reducing the toxic effect of the cancer.
Oh, that's amazing, Dr. Bade. So here goes my first question. What inspired the creation of Pure Hub division and how does it align with the principles of personalized medicine?
Okay, so as I told you that the division, when we started Swalife, it was part of my uh, PhD work. So I was working on small molecules from plant. So when we started Pure Hub, so Pure Hub division, we make it separate division. The reason was that we bought some of the product in the market. So in Indian market, actually we started some of the product where single pure herbs were used back in 2018-19, and we actually bought the product in the market, and we actually observed the the sale and also the people's comment on that what is happening, as we observe that some of the people were actually having good results. So there was um, healing power from this plant, where some people have shown it has got activity, because we already actually done the study on cells and on also on the animals. So it was a science backed approach. So we have got the result from there, but then some of the people actually didn't showed the result. So it was given for the same disease, but some people have shown. So based on that, actually we started focusing on the single hub supplement, but we actually making sure that we started looking at the target for those specific people who were showing the activity. So that's how actually it moved into the personalized medicines, where some of the individual people who were taking and who are taking at the moment also, they have given us the review of the products. And that's how the pure herb division started, and we have got about 10 products now under the single hub formulation, where specific health concern are taken into consideration. Simultaneously, we are looking at the lifestyle and environment of the patient, but we are also moving into now genetic testing, like gene sequencing will be done for the patient for that specific disease where we want to target. So that's how the pure herb division came into you know in the market.
Oh, that's really inspiring, Dr. Bade. It's clear that a lot of thoughts and vision went into this. So, with that, I'd like to again ask you, please, can you explain the concept of single herb supplements and how they differ from the multi herb formulation?
With the single herb supplement, normally, you use extract or you use powder. In our case, we are actually using extract because we have created that technology, and that technology we are using. So we know that which what single molecules are present in that, in that tablet or capsule. So we are focusing solely on the properties and benefit of those molecules which are present in that extract. While in multi-herb, what happens that you are actually adding different herb extract or powder, which is the thought is given that it is actually producing a synergetic effect. But sometimes what is happening that it can dilute the specific action of each herb, and that's the reason that single herb supplement can be ideal for targeted therapy, because we know the single molecule which are present in that extract. So that's how we are working on that. We are targeting numbers of target with numbers of single molecules which are present in the standardized extract from that single herb. So that's how we are developing the personalized medicines, which is going to allow for the precision dosing, and also a treatment can be tailored. So if I give an example that somebody, as I told already, that some people have actually got result from that formulation, some didn't. So we can actually tell that dosing and also the treatment for the specific people. So that's how it work with the single herb supplement.
Oh, that's really a clear explanation, and plus you have really given a good example. So let's ask you something related to what is like how do single herb supplements support precision medicine and cater to individual health needs?
Okay, so with the single herb supplement, it support the precision medicine, as I told you, by providing focused solution for specific imbalance or specific conditions which need to be treated. It also allowed the practitioner to select the herbs that can actually target specific pathway, and that's where the network pharmacology come. So it can actually, we can decide based on the network pharmacology that this herb can be utilized for inflammation or for hormonal imbalance or for immunity. So that can be done. Also, this approach reduces the risk of unnecessary compound which are interfering with individuals unique biochemistry. So that is another thing which is happening, that when you combine many herbs, sometimes it is not only giving the positive effect, but it can also interfere with that person's biochemistry. So that's the reason that with the single herb, precision medicine can be more scientifically we can actually develop them.
Oh, that's fascinating. It really shows how science and nature can work together to support an individual's wellness. So let's move to the next question. So, can you share examples of herbs with specific therapeutic benefits?
Okay, so instead of giving from any other herbs, I can actually talk about one couple of product from Swalife only, from the pure herb division. So I can give an example of turmeric, where it is already well studied. Some of the single molecules from turmeric, like curcumin, which is a potent anti-inflammatory compound. So it is effective for joint health and systematic inflammation. So that's how the turmeric is working. So with our technology, we are making sure that the single molecules which are present in that can be present in the fraction which we are using for our product. The second example which I want to give is from Tulsi, where this herb actually is useful in respiratory health, and also act as a immunomodulator. So we make sure that the compounds which are present in the Tulsi are targeting the proteins which are useful in the disease which will be needed for to treat. So when we are looking cancer, we are not looking just towards the cells or just the protein, but we know that cancer is numbers of diseases. So we want to actually make sure that we target from all the proteins which can be playing important role in the cancer development. So that way we can actually reduce the growth of the cancer cells, but simultaneously the patient is not only not going to suffer more from the side effects. So that's how we are working with the this pure herb division.
Oh, so those examples are so insightful. It's incredible to hear how versatile and powerful these herbs are. So, next I want to ask is what is the scientific process for identifying the best suited herb for an individual's health condition?
So when we are deciding on the herbs, so ethnobotanically, a lot of herbs are already having some of the activities. So what we are doing, we are not selecting based on only on the ethnobotanical, but we are having a process where we are doing health assessment. So we are gathering data for the individual health history, which can be done from the from the hospitals, from the doctors, regarding the symptoms and the lifestyle. So that is one of the thing. The second thing is we are utilizing the diagnostic tools like pulse diagnosing. Then, as I told you, we are also working on genetic testing, and also microbe analysis part is done to understand the diagnosing of the patient. Based on this, then we move towards the herb. So we are understanding the herbal pharmacology. So with the network pharmacology, we are getting the targets, and based on that, we go for the computer-based drug discovery, where we are understanding if the herb is actually targeting all those protein, and what effect can it produce in the individual condition. And based on that, then the personalized dosing is adjusted to make sure that the individual will have the treatment of the that herb based on the doses which we have designed based on the assessment what we have done. So this is how we actually selecting the herbs. So it is not only on the ethnobotanical or not only a previous activity, but we have a set procedure to identify the herbs for that individual health condition.
Oh, I must say that's an impressive process, and it must make such a difference for tailoring the right solutions, which are you are actually focusing on. So let's move to the next aspect of this podcast. So I'll be asking some of the questions related to practical and personalized application. So here's the first question: how are single herb supplements tailored to individual needs, and what are the roles do factors like genetics, environment, and lifestyle play?
Okay, so as I mentioned to you that while doing the assessment, we are considering the lifestyle and environment of the patient. But we have also now incorporated genetic testing where we are doing the gene sequencing. So with the oral cancer, we have developed a saliva-based testing where we are doing the gene sequencing of the saliva from the patient to understand that formulation that we have given to the patient, is it actually targeting the target which we have identified from the network pharmacology. So the process start with the network pharmacology to understand what targets are there in the oral cancer, and based on that we are actually designing the formulation. Once the formulation is designed, the patient is given that formulation, and that formulation is expected, because we have already studied that in vitro. So it is expected that it will go and hit the targets which we have identified in network pharmacology. So to understand that, we are taking the saliva and we are doing it the gene sequencing to understand the target. So this is how we are using the genetics. With the environment, we are looking at the factors like climate and pollution that may influence the health. Also, we understand the lifestyle of the patient. We are looking at the diet, then the activity level and the trace pattern to select the the plants, so that way we can actually uh, give them the proper herbs which can actually target that person's target which are there in the disease. So this is how we are actually tailoring the supplement to the individual needs.
It's amazing how deeply, personalized this approach is, and thank you for explaining in detail as well. So, further, I want to ask is what are the key challenges in formulating and prescribing a single herb supplement?
Okay, so when we looking at the personalized medicine, the major challenge is that um, with the herb, it is already there, and one of the challenge that we are having with the herb is that the standardization. So maintaining the consistent potency and the bioavailability in the herbal product is something which we do face, but again we have working on it, and we have got some of the solutions. Also, personalized medicine is individual variability will be there, so responses to the herbs are going to be differ. So while making precision, there is a recommendation challenges we are facing, where sometime what happens, the person or the patient is actually taking another drug, so allopathic. So we are working on that as well. So we need to make sure that there is a compatibility with the ongoing medication. So that is one of the crucial aspect, where that there is no herbal drug interaction happening. And the major another challenge which comes with the herb is that education to the practitioners. Yes, in India, there are Ayurvedic doctors who are familiar with the herbs, but they are familiar with the herbs. They are not familiar with the small molecules and all the other things like herbal drug interaction, or what pharmacokinetic effect they can show, or what pharmacodynamic effect is happening. So to we need to ensure that the practitioners are educated about the formulation, so that way they can understand that how they can give it properly to the consumer, that is the patient. So these are some of the challenges that we are facing, and we are actually working on them, so that way we can increase the precision formulation of the herbal drug. and that will be in pure herb format.
Oh, that's really amazing because though Ayurveda is an ancient science, but there's lots of challenges as you have rightly quoted, and I'm glad that you're also working on the solutions. So that's perfect. So let's move on the safety and efficacy part of it. So what steps are taken to ensure the purity, the safety, potency of the single herb supplements?
Okay, so as I mentioned that with the standardization we were facing because sourcing of the herb is mostly done from the supplier, but now we are making sure that we're having source of trusted suppliers, so high quality sourcing is done. Then we also make sure that rigorous testing for contamination or heavy metals or pesticides is done at the our end as well. So when we get the herbs from the supply, we are doing that as well. So that way we are making sure that consistent active ingredient concentration are there. So there is no variation batch by batch. So that we are now are in the process. So we are making sure that the heavy metals or pesticide is no, so safety can be done there. And for the purity, we are making sure the single constituent which we got from our technology is present in that herb extract. So we are doing that. Simultaneously, I'm making sure that the supplier with whom we have the MOU is actually good manufacturing, utilizing good manufacturing practices, and also they actually getting the raw material from the organic sources, so that way we can also label it as an organic compound. So this is how we are making sure that purity, safety of those single herb is maintained.
That's so reassuring to hear. It's clear that quality and safety are top priorities. So, with that, let me ask you, are there any risks or contraindications when using the single herb supplements, especially when combined with other medications or treatments?
Yes, as I mentioned that we are making sure. So the precision, the reason of this precision formulation is that when it is given in combination with other small molecule, but simultaneously with other allopathic small molecules, it will not actually have issues. But when we talk in general, and that's where even the GPs, the practitioners are concerned that herb drug interactions are happening. So if I give an example of turmeric, it actually can enhance blood thinning effect. So this type of effects are seen. So we need to make sure that when we are developing this personalized formulation, the single molecules which are present in that formulation are not interacting with the other drug. The second thing is that overdose risk can happen. So like sometime excessive potent herb can be taken, and that can actually create side effect like hypertension or other side effects. So to make sure that this overdose is not happening, we are making sure that it is given in precision formulation. And allergy is another thing which can create allergic reaction to some of the specific herbs. So we worked on that to make sure that the formulation that we have developed is not producing any allergy. And simultaneously, while initially testing the patients, we're also introducing allergic tests, so that way we are making sure that the patient is not allergic to that specific herb. So this is the way we are trying to reduce the risk, so that way the supplement can be safely combined with other medication for the treatment.
Oh, thank you so much for addressing that. And it's important for listeners to be aware of these contraindications. So, one last and final question I would like to ask you is, how do you envisage the future of single herb supplements in personalized medicine, and what innovation or advancement can we expect?
So with the with the single herb supplement, we actually already moved into some of the innovations, and we are already doing some of the advancement in this formulation. So one of the advancement which I already mentioned, that we have actually incorporated now genomic testing, that is the genetic testing. So with the oral cancer, we are using saliva. With the breast cancer, we will be using blood to understand where the single molecule is going and hitting the targets which we have identified from the network pharmacology. In addition to genetic testing, we're also utilizing AI to understand, different data which is already available for that herb. So that way, what we can do, we can match the herbs to the individual health profile. So that is something we are integrating. So that way, while selecting the herbs, we don't only have to look for the assessment. We can also go for this, data which is already available in public domain. So that's the second thing. The third thing, which we know, as I told, that we already working on that, is that nanotechnology. So we have already developed, we actually got 4 patent of these nano emulsions, which actually helping the absorption and bioavailability of this herb. So it is advancing the delivery system. In that case, we actually not working on the pure single herbs, but we actually have combination of the herbs, and the reason is different. But yes, we are utilizing nanotechnology as well to improve the herb absorption. In addition to that, one of the main reason that we are working with some of the farmers to develop eco-friendly farming, so that way we know the source of the plant, and also we can actually make sure that herbal biodiversity can be preserved. So for that purpose, we have collaborated with some of the farmers, so that way we will be sourcing our own raw material. So this is what we are doing at the moment, and as we go, some modification will be coming for innovation purpose, so that way we can expect more single herb supplement in the precision medicine.
Oh, that's you have really a good and exciting vision for the future. It's inspiring to hear about the potential advancement in this field. But out of curiosity, I just wanted to ask this one thing that you talked about AI use. So could you just justify or could you just elaborate a bit about the ethical use of AI in healthcare?
So with the when we are talking AI, if I give an how we are doing, we actually developing a machine learning tool. So for the diagnosing purpose, as I told you, that we will be incorporating genome sequencing, but we are also utilizing um, indirect immunofluorescence, Western blot. So the images are generated, and those images are actually part of the machine learning tool which we are developing. So when you talk about the ethical one, it is part of the the clinical work. So we are actually taking ethical permission and ethical concern from the people, and to utilize the results and the test what we are doing, so that way we can improve the formulation. So we are not actually utilizing AI without taking concern of that data. So this is how we are using. I know that there are some of the ethical concern of this AI, but in our case, we are actually utilizing for the development of the diagnostic tool uh, in the development of the personalized medicine.
Oh, that's wonderful to know that you have a strategy to tackle with all the issues related to AI. So, yeah, thank you so much, Dr. Bade, for joining in and sharing your really wonderful insights and answering all the questions very beautifully. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Ravina. It was nice talking with you, and I think we will, continue some of the strategies for
Yeah,
further, talks. We will continue the insight with the Swalife
building
Biotech
patience. Yeah,
Pure Hubs.
sure.
Yeah.
Very sure.
Thanks. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much.